For this literacy learner assignment, Emily and I worked with 3 girls from Miss Leroy's senior English class, Paris, Denise, and Alexis. Each young woman had a distinct and delightful personality, which Emily and I had the opportunity to witness. In class, each girl is a valuable member of the classroom, but in an informal setting, they were allowed to loosen up and show us who they really were. Paris is talkative, personal, and laid back, but somehow Denise managed to out-talk her the entire time, claiming that no one talks more than her. Alexis, on the other hand, was much more reserved and formal, only speaking when asked a question directly. Together, these 3 girls created a dynamic atmosphere for us to interview them and get an inside glimpse of their lives and their views on literacy in the classroom and outside of it. Each girl brings a unique kind of literacy to the table. Alexis seems to enjoy more academic reading and writing, but also mentioned her love for romance novels outside of school. Out of her classes, she most enjoys forensic sciences, but struggles with reading literature. She later expressed her anxiety about missing something in the text or not catching on to a specific point that the author is trying to make. It seems to me that Alexis's English classes in the past must have emphasized a single correct answer, instead of being open to student interpretation. Alexis is very motivated and cares deeply about her grades, so it makes sense that she would stress about obtaining a correct understanding that agrees with the teacher's opinion in order to get a good grade. In the classroom, Alexis is usually quiet and does what the teacher asks of her. I am sure that if there were discussions in class, she would sit quietly and listen to what other people have to say until she can formulate her own ideas in a way she believes will please her teacher. When asked whether she asked the teacher for help or her peers, Alexis responded that she prefers to ask her teacher because they will know the right answer. In an interesting comparison, Alexis stated that she believes that rereading a page or a chapter would help her to become a better reader, versus both Denise and Paris believing that having more choice in their selection of texts would help them. Denise, as I have mentioned, was very talkative and easily distracted and off task. She was lively and energetic, and Paris seemed to feed off of that energy, so together they went off on many tangents. However, the information we did manage to get out of these girls was very intriguing. Outside of school, Denise enjoys reading poems and magazines in her bed while listening to music or at a desk. She reads because she finds it interesting to understand someone else's perspective, and she reads every day. Her and Paris mentioned that they do read every day, even if it is not any type of academia. They read text messages and Facebook, so they feel that they are always reading. As far as writing, Denise loves to write poems and stories about her dreams. She says she does not write as much as she reads, however, maybe like 5 times a month, if that, she says. Denise mentions that her favorite class is sociology, but she struggles to read her physics textbook, resulting in that being her least favorite class. It appears that Denise enjoys works of literature more than Alexis, her favorite in-school book being Of Mice and Men. As for Paris, she loves to read and write poetry and songs because it is an outlet for her, and poetry can relate to a lot of different situations as well as it heals the soul. She labels herself as creative, but expresses her frustration that she is not always allowed to be creative in school, stating that she struggles with writing when it has to be in a specific format because she would rather be creative and write how she likes to. When Paris gets to write creatively, she loves to share her work with people, which she willingly shared with Emily and me for this project. Now here's one of her original poems. Class is in session, don't another obsession, use discretion, you're really gonna need some protection. Leave please, I really like to cheese, but when you're around, I always seem to frown. 'Cause you think you gotta have it, but it's just a bad habit. You're mean and ungrateful, stupid and unfaithful, you're always with Mabel, sitting under the table. Class is in session, now you have a new obsession. As for my own personal experience with my literacy learners, it was great to see that students really do love to read and write. In class, it is discouraging to see them instantly dismiss the text they are reading, which is their eyes were watching God. I learned that it really is important to bring students' ways of learning and loving literacy into the classroom, not only selecting a book that I assume they will relate to. If I were the mentor teacher, I would allow more room for discussion of the book and also more freedom in their responses to the book, such as allowing students to create poetry, stories, or visual art.